Dear all, welcome to our webcast about Portaltech Advisory Services, and in particular today we will be looking at the Customer Experience Advisory, which is a service we are launching this year. Before we start, I would like to invite you to join us on this journey. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would be more than happy to have you with us. We're looking forward to your thoughts, your comments, your questions. We are always here, and we would be more than happy to hear from you. First things first, let's discuss the agenda for this webcast today. First, we will talk a little bit about Portaltech and Reply and how the two fit and work together. We will talk then a little bit about why we are introducing these services and how we've come to realization that this is what market will potentially be interested in the future. Then we will talk about the offering itself and how we see that work for our customers. We'll touch a little bit on RFP management as a separate service that we also provide independent of the rest of our services. And we will wrap up with the Contact Us section, where you will have a chance to connect with us through LinkedIn, YouTube, and our website, of course. First things first, a little bit of an introduction of who Portaltech are. We are part of Reply Group. Reply Group is a living network of over 120 companies. We've grown organically and also through acquisition of businesses, and also we have worked to set up businesses that are specialized and particular to the needs of our customers, as and when we gained various opportunities around the globe. As you can see, we are really a global company. We employ over 9,000 employees worldwide. And we are spread around the world. You can see from the North America to Asia, but our predominant focus and our origin of incorporation is, of course, Europe. And this is also where we have most of our customers and most of our employees. The foundation of our organization is built on building value-driven and trust-based relationships with our customers. And at the heart of our organization, our culture is technology, innovation, being driven by design and tailoring the services that we provide to our customers to their needs and their benefit. If we look at the range of our services and range of our customers, as you can see, we serve a wide variety of industries, starting from automotive, retail, CPG, banking, energy, telco and media, insurance and healthcare. And in terms of the kind of services we provide, as you can see, there's a wide diversity of the services that are provided by different companies within Reply Group. Each company tends to be narrowly specialized in the technology and the services that they provide. But as a network, we are able to pick a mix and match exact set of services and expertise and experience that a customer may require and be really agile and be close to our customers and deliver the best value for their benefit. So today, we are very excited to give an introduction to our Customer Experience Advisory. The reason we've come up with this offering is because we saw a need for customers, or rather from our customers, in technology independent and system integration services independent assistance and support with their initiatives. We have seen some of our customers go through a complex process of selecting the technology, and what we really saw is that they could really benefit from an independent, technology agnostic, objective and pragmatic partner who can handhold them through this process and not only advise them from the perspective of the technology that they're affiliated with, but really be a business partner in this process and really be a sounding board and be the support and source of best practices and source of recommendations that are quite independent and really focused at doing the right thing for the customer, right? Really looking at their goals and targets understanding what will be the most beneficial for them, and advising from that perspective. So let's dive in a little bit into the background of and a little bit of desk research that we have found by these independent bodies. As you can see, you probably well recognize Gartner, Forrester. Some of you may know Project Management Institute. Now, these organizations publish annual reports, and it's something that we have observed already in the market and with our customers ourselves. But their research really supports the notions that we want to highlight in this presentation, and really supports the thinking behind the advisory services that we are launching as a company. So Gartner publishes their research annually, and their estimate is about 40 to 60% of IT projects fail. Now, failure is not necessarily defined as complete failure or project being stopped or project not delivering at all. Rather, the qualification for project failure is that the project has not delivered on either budget, timeline, or stakeholder expectations. So potentially, project is very late, or project is much more expensive in the end, by the time it goes live, or the project is delivered to a level that does not satisfy customer experience that is expected, or the stakeholder expectations that have been set out at the start. Now, Gartner sets out poor planning and execution, lack of communication, collaboration, scope creep, and lack of change management as one of the top reasons for project failure. Project Management Institute highlights lack of executive support and clear objectives, scope creep, and Forrester highlights lack of clarity around the product vision, difficulty managing stakeholder expectations, difficulty managing scope creep as key factors for project failure. So let's zoom that in a little bit and talk about the kind of challenges that customer experience product owners are faced with today. And a lot of it is based on what we have observed working with various seniority project owners from our previous customers over the last 2 decades, but also it is heavily supported by the desk research that we see coming from Gartner and Forrester and Project Management Institute. So the typical challenges that we see product owners struggling with, and where we really have helped them in the past, is first of all customer feedback, right? And customer feedback is a very broad spectrum of information and data that you could be collecting. Now, identifying your target customer groups correctly, right? Identifying your customer personas is really fundamental in building a successful solution, really building a solution that lives up to the expectations of your customers. Now, keeping with the evolution of the customer needs is also important, because as your business grows, your customers grow with you or they evolve with you, their needs and their expectations also evolve. The expectation from your brand is changing. The expectation from the capabilities you offer for your customers is changing, right? Somebody who's just starting out in the market will not be expected to live up to high expectations. But if you've been in the market for a certain period of time, or you're an established player, enterprise grade player, or one of the global leaders, the expectations from you are very high from the outset. And same goes for existing customers as new customers that come on board and with your business. So obviously, ambiguity, contradiction, or incompleteness of user feedback plays an important role, right? The question here is, are you getting all the data? Have you considered all the potential data sources that you may have? Have you considered all your customer groups? Which customer groups are driving most of your revenue? Which potential opportunities you have left in the market, right? Who is not on board right now today with your business that could be on board? Who could you potentially win over from your competition, right? Or who are you neglecting potentially? Which customer groups have sort of been neglected, or which customer groups could be better served through online channel rather than a face-to-face? If you're a B2B business, that might be draining your sales resources or your customer support resources. If you're a B2C player, again, the smaller customers are better served through online channel and better served through self-service and self-help, rather than spending your expensive human resources on interactions with your customer. Then we go into backlog prioritization. Once we understood the lay of the land, once we understood who your customers are and what they expect from you, and really gain that complete and comprehensive picture of what we're trying to do for them, right? How do we prioritize? Because obviously, a greenfield solution has a tendency to be quite comprehensive, but also quite expensive to implement, right? So how do we prioritize the backlog for your pipeline to make sure that you get the right balance of customer features and customer capabilities versus your business capabilities, right? Because it's not only about serving the customer, it is also making sure that your business owners and your business operators are able to support this process and are able to support your customers in the right way. And so your solution eventually should not only bear the final customers in mind, but also should bear business users in mind, because you could have an amazing storefront, but if your business users are unable to support customers, are unable to work with the solution, you will have bottlenecks in your business that will prevent you from becoming as successful as you potentially could be. And lastly, of course, is changing technology, right? Something that you may have implemented even 3 years ago today may start to become obsolete, right? So reevaluating your legacy technology, understanding how they may obstruct your success, obstruct your growth, evaluating how technologies can benefit your business, new technologies that come into the market, how they potentially could be brought into the picture, brought into your enterprise solution architecture, and exploring strategic business opportunities with bringing the right tech at the right time is really important topic and important aspect not to be overlooked as you grow the business, as you go from year to year, as you set out your new strategic goals, as you set out your new revenue targets, and as you set out your new customer experience ambitions. So in that context, let's look at customer experience advisory as a service that Portaltech has been working on over the course of about last year. Firstly, we have heavy expertise and we have a very long track record working with retail. Retail has really been the industry that pioneered digital channel. It has really built it from the ground up, right? If we talk about the likes of Amazon, the likes of Alibaba, if we talk about other players on large scale, I mean, ASOS in UK, these are the players that have really worked very hard on building up their online channels. And we can really leverage on that. And we have worked over the last 2 decades with various range of players and have helped them build up their digital strategy and their digital channel, and in particular in the context of omnichannel. So all of this wealth of experience and knowledge is something that we can now transition and bring to other industries. So over the course of about last 7 years, we have really seen financial industry digitize. That came off the back of the heavy challenge from the challenger banks and digital first banks. And so the so-called brick and mortar, or if you like, incumbent banks had no other option but to follow or be left behind. We have also seen, we are also seeing right now pharma industry really working hard. We're working with some of the largest players in the market in that industry, and in particular, one of them came to us after they have been severely challenged by competition that has been digitizing much faster than what they have been doing. So we really see that change happening right now, and we expect great things from pharma industry in the next few years. Next one, we expect construction industry to come on board as well. That's also somewhere where we see quite a bit of movement. We also see that travel industry, for example, is an industry that was one of the first to digitize and create centralized booking systems, for example. But now, sort of 30 years down the line, we see that they're in dire need of reinventing themselves, really changing the way they do business, really bringing that retail reference, retail-based customer experience onto their platforms. And while some of them are still building on legacy solutions, some of them, or many of them, are really looking at the innovation and possibilities in the field to break away from that mold. So that's why we believe that this offering is quite powerful and quite potent in the market. And of course, it would continue to evolve and will be based on real-time analysis of trends, and will be tailored to your playing field, your industry. It will be based on what makes sense from your business model perspective. Now, in order to deliver that, we worked intensely internally to create a Portaltech customer experience performance scoring framework. Now, what it does is it's a comprehensive model that takes into account the functional completeness and maturity of your storefront. Again, that would be tailored to your business model, to your industry, to the aspects of your particular playing field and your market, right? What makes sense in your particular case. But also it will assess seamlessness in intuitivism of your design. So obviously, we have seen Apple really revolutionize the market, stopping looking at solutions from purely functional perspective and starting thinking about solutions from lifestyle perspective, right? And that has taken us about last 20 years from release of iPhone, right, to modern day, when we're looking at how can we make the journey of our customer from A to B easier, not just provide them with what they're asking for, but go a step further, right? Make it seamless, make it intuitive, make it easy to understand, make sure that the products and solutions do not require a user manual, right? Previously, we could see a mobile phone come with a user manual, an appliance come with a user manual. That's all pretty much abolished. And if you're ordering anything online on Amazon, any kind of electronics, most of the time it will come with a very basic user manual. And why? Is because there is a very strong move to the intuitive, seamless solutions that don't require explanation on how to use it, how to get started, how to maintain it, how to utilize it, and so on. Integrity. So integrity of the shopping journey is very important. It's very important to think, again, from A to B, what does the customer need to do? What kind of steps they need to take? What will be useful for them along their journey, right? And it's the small touches, it's the small refinements that really play a fundamental role in the impression that we leave with our customer. And it's these small touches that will be a difference between the rating 5 out of 5 versus 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5, right? And in the world of net promoter score, right? Net promoter index, you don't want to be the 3 out of 5. You don't want to be 4 out of 5. You really want to be 5 out of 5 because the competition is fierce at the moment. Then not to forget, of course, the awareness and the aftercare, right? I mean, shopping journey from the moment that the customer lands on our webpage or your storefront, right, to the point when they place their order is, of course, the focal point of every shopping journey. However, brand awareness and aftercare, so the phases before the customer actually lands on the page and orders something, and afterwards, once they've placed an order, and how do we look after them after they have purchased our product, is immensely important, and again has a very strong, impact on the Net Promoter Score. Of course, as part of this, we consider the omni-channel, the commerce part, but we also look at the customer data and marketing features as well, because this for us completes the entire suite of the solution. And we feel that these areas and these domains are inherently intertwined, and we cannot be looking at one without considering the others, right? Because, for example, taking marketing into account, if you have an amazing storefront, but your communication, your promotion is not on point, then that kind of sours the whole pot. As part of that, non-functional site performance is, again, very important. Again, an aspect of a solution that's absolutely key for the ultimate customer experience, positive customer experience with our site. And that's where the more technical things come in, the more technical matters come in. And of course, our model is constantly updated, and we keep a constant eye on the evolving market and the best practices of customer experience that emerge. We keep an eye on the innovation that's out there as a key player in this field, and we feel that that's really important to also keep our customers up to date. So when it comes to the actual offering, we envisage a few tiers, and we see that as a kind of gradual process by which we can engage on a fairly light touch basis at the start. And as you see added value from our consultancy and our advisory, as you see us delivering for you really in real time immediately, we can then take a decision to take further steps and go a little bit deeper. Or we may say, okay, this is potentially not for us, and take other directions. And then again, we will be there for you to support you if you like us to, and we will be there to advise objectively as to the next steps that are best placed to address your requests or your needs or your desires. So in this context, we've identified 3 tiers. So first, tier A is just customer experience benchmarking using our customer experience performance scoring model. It is a very vanilla type of an engagement. We can just look at your storefront, provided we have test accesses to your solution. We will have our business analysts score your storefront and your performance. We'll look at your customer data management. We'll look at also your marketing. We'll look at your commerce capability, and we will give you a very generic scoring of how you perform against general market. Now, this is not tailored to your industry. This is not tailored to your business model at this point in time. If you wanted to get those insights, then we go into tier B, where we actually have to have few meetings with your key subject matter experts, with potentially your e-commerce product owner, with the people that are running the digital channel within your organization. We would build further analysis as to what makes sense and what are the standard of operations within your industry. We would refer to other market knowledge that's available to us within the organization and publicly. And we will adjust our model to take into consideration the specifics of your industry and your business model. Off the back of that, you will get another scoring, which will be tailored to the context of your organization. And also some of the high-level recommendations and advice in areas where we think that you really should be focusing on. We could give you a bit of a prioritization as to areas of your underperformance and recommendations of what to focus on, given the current market conditions, and also given the strategic objectives of your business and where your industry is heading. And lastly, tier C is the highest level of engagement. This is where we can really work with your product owners, with your business owners, with your subject matter experts, on building up a roadmap, a sort of a very detailed and actionable roadmap for evolution of your e-commerce capability as a player and your positioning in the market. And this can be taken as far as fully delivering this program for you or this project. Tier C is kind of sky is the limit. This is where we really go into business partnership mode. We understand deeply what are your targets, what are your objectives, what are your constraints, limitations, what are the capabilities already in place, what are the technical limitations within your enterprise solution architecture. We'd work with you on building out the business cases for evolution of certain capabilities, and then can also help you justify the investment within your organization to then take this forward and build up really a pipeline and an evolution roadmap for your digital channel. Now, if you feel that you are not quite there yet, if you feel that you are sort of earlier in this process and you would like more of a guidance at the start, and you're sort of looking at the RFI/RFP process, potentially this will exclude us as a vendor because we cannot be objective. But if you think that you would like to just run an RFI/RFP, this is also where we could engage with you. And of course, we would support you through project scope definition, objectives definition, help you set up your cross-functional project team, help you come up with the RFP documentation, RFI documentation, and all the way through shortlisting of potential vendors, organization of pre-vet conferences, of vendor evaluations, or potentially we could be excluded from shortlisting of vendors and vendor evaluations. In that way, potentially we could be more objective in that sense, and potentially could still participate in this bid as well, which we would be quite keen on doing. And so that brings us to the last section of connecting with us. Jason Heyman is a partner within our organization. Just below him, you see my details as well. Below, you find the 3 QR codes to follow us through to our website, to connect with us on LinkedIn, or to also follow our YouTube channel. If you have any questions or comments or feedback, we would be absolutely happy to hear that. And lastly, we would be delighted at the opportunity to bring you a better peace of mind with your strategically important projects and initiatives. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Please stay in touch. Please stay tuned. There will be more webcasts coming out on this channel and on this topic in particular of customer experience and project delivery. If you haven't done so yet, there is also a webcast that recently had been released about project delivery advisory services. Please go ahead and check it out on our channel. And as always, we are very keen to hear back from you. Please comment. Please approach us with questions, either through social networks or drop us an email, and we'd be more than happy to talk to you. Thank you so much for your attention today, and we will be in touch soon.